Hi guys, it's your boy Poohead189, and I recently received a comment on my Android video which I felt deserved a reply. But it required a longer reply than one I could conceivably do with text, and I admit I did misspeak in the video. Now, in the video, I called Android 17 and 18 cyborgs, and I said they were half mechanical. Etrodecem, or Etrodecem, I don't know how to pronounce the name, I'll say Decem, apologies, correctly pointed out that in the manga, Bulma and Dr. Briefs are looking through the android blueprints, and Bulma says they are mostly organic, or bioorganic. And Etrodecem says, as the manga also says, they only have a few cybernetic parts, like the bombs and the deactivation devices. The Daizenshuu also says they are only organically modified, and in Dragon Ball Super, they are said to only be changed at a cellular level. Now, most of the time, Super tends to get things either incorrect or forgets crucial parts of the series, and so it becomes contradictory. A lot of the times, really. But that was in the comment, and I was also aware of it prior to the comment. And all of what Etrodecem said was correct. All of these facts do exist. However, there is a reason why I did not mention them. Bulma's statement and the Daizenshuu statement do not match what we are shown elsewhere, and Android 17 and 18 cannot be bioorganic creations for a few simple facts. Firstly, saying they are both cybernetic yet bioorganic cannot really be a thing. Sure, you could have both in the same body, as in both bioorganic and cybernetic components, but there has to be a classification on where they lie, so they cannot be classified as both. And considering Android 17 refers to himself and Android 18 as cybernetic rather than bioorganic, that means there is likely more mechanical parts than what the Daizenshuu says. For instance, beyond the bombs and the deactivation device, there is also their infinite energy engines, which, considering Android 16 has it as well, implies it's likely hooked up mechanically. Furthermore, unlike Cell or a normal human, Android 17 and 18 cannot be sensed by any of the fighters, or Cell himself, which is unlike Cell, who is a bioorganic android. Not only that, but Android 17 and 18's personalities and bodies were programmed specifically. And while you can make the argument that their body was programmed at the cellular level, at least, you cannot escape that for their minds. The way Dr. Gero refers to it implies computer programming. That, and they also have databanks exactly like a computer, which means that even though they are mostly organic like Bulma said, they have far more mechanical parts than one might first suspect. And all of that refutes both the Daizenshuu and the Super claims. Even in the manga page specifically about Dr. Gero's creations, it calls 17 and 18 cyborgs, and differentiates them with a bioorganic being like Cell, as in, it shows that they are different than Cell. This is all to say that both 17 and 18 are consistently shown as cyborgs, and while Bulma is likely correct in that a lot of their modifications are bioorganic, there must be a sizable portion of them that is mechanical, at least enough for them to be considered cyborgs and not bioorganic like Cell. However, Etrodecem was correct in that I should have mentioned all of this in the video to show my thoughts rather than just have a conclusion and not mention it, because it does seem contradictory. And I definitely should have added the fact that they did have some bioorganic changes to them, as well as Bulma's panel. And what I did get wrong was that at one point I said they were half machine, when that would not be the case if Bulma is correct. It's likely 70% organic or 30% machine, or maybe 60-40 if we're stretching it, but that would still fall in line with the cyborg definition. Though we do need to note that Bulma could be somewhat uncertain, as she needs her father's help and he says he cannot even comprehend all of Gero's notes, as it's likely a scientific area Dr. Briefs and Bulma are not very familiar with. However, she is still likely correct, seeing as they do successfully make a device that shuts the androids down. Or that's what we assume, at least, since Krillin crushes it and it was never used. So potentially, it might not have even worked. But again, I should have mentioned all of my thoughts in the earlier video. I tried to make comprehensive lists, but sometimes the videos are so long, I don't add all that I could from both time and energy constraints on my part. I usually do, but I'm not perfect, and I also can forget or miss things. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great one, and thank you, Etrodecem, for pointing that stuff out. Okay, bye.